this movie is about sexual body horror.
This podcast is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Spoiler warning for whatever is in the title of this episode.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share and subscribe. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the horrorofbabylonpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/thehorrorofbabylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible and all other major podcast apps.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Alien-a-Thon, where we discuss Alien, Romulus, and Remus. Because that's what it should have been named.
Remus and Butthead.
Remus and Butthead do America. I'm Ryan, and with me as always is Daniel. Say hi, Daniel.
Ryan, have I told you I'm on this new seafood diet? I see food
Food,
and
I eat it. Yeah. Yeah. I've never heard that one. I'm on this new, love patrons diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love patrons.
Yeah, I love. You knew who we're not going to eat. Our patrons.
Thank you to Abigail the First, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and
Logan,
the Full Metal Patron, and Ben the Fourth Patron of Hope, and Mia the Fifth, the Rainmaker.
She makes it rain, yo.
Oh, she makes it rain. And Sierra the Sixth, the Keyblade Patron. And thank you to Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming, which you can visit at the Morgantown Mall in Morgantown, West Virginia, the Mall Robinson in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can shop at fourhorsemen.tcgplayer.com. And if you make it into the store, you probably won't be able to say hi to Ron because there's a new Alien movie, so he's probably out seeing that at least 3 times.
I think Ron should play the next Alien.
No, they already did the bald alien. Trigger warning, all the normal alien triggers.
If psychosexual body horror freaks you out, not the movie for you.
Yeah.
Gore.
Yeah. Typical gore and violence and pregnancy and birthing and stuff. Vaginas and
robots.
Penetration. Robots. Expectations. I didn't like the first trailer. I thought the second trailer was a lot better, so I got my got my hopes up a little bit, but
the first trailer had me worried that we were going to be in for like a 5 or 10 minute silent sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Instead it was like 30 seconds.
It was fine.
Yeah. 30 seconds is a fine amount to have. The silent sequence of the movie was shorter than the silent sequence in the trailer. At least it felt that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, there were 2.
Yeah.
There was the one at the end and the opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought the opening scene was cool, where it's just like showing you stars, and then eventually you realize there's a ship just slowly coming towards the screen.
It was a good shot.
I like that.
A lot of the cinematography in this was pretty good.
Yep.
The vampire's a pure myth, superstition. I may be able to bring you proof that the superstition of yesterday can become the scientific reality of today.
Alright, jumping to background. This film released August 15th, 2024, which is yesterday at time of recording.
$80 million budget. Only made $6 million total flop.
Yeah.
On day one.
It'll probably do okay, but obviously we don't know yet.
Yeah. We're recording this opening weekend.
It was directed by Fede, or I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but
Fede,
Mr. Alvarez, who also did Don't Breathe, which
I thought was okay.
They were the right. So as a director, they did my least favorite Evil Dead movie, From Dusk Till Dawn, the one episode of From Dusk Till Dawn TV series, Don't Breathe, The Girl in the Spider's Web, and it was written by that same person and Rodo. I'm sorry.
Sayagis?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Who apparently is that person's, is Fede Alvara's writing partner, because they have most of the same credits.
Don't Breathe 2.
Yeah, and they both worked on that Netflix Texas Chainsaw.
Okay, so they both did the worst Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's probably not fair.
And they also did the worst Evil Dead, so that works.
Did I also rank that one as the worst one?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay.
I don't know which one you did offhand. We can try to remember to look when we go to rankings.
It's probably not that important.
And then, let's see.
It wasn't Evil Dead Rise.
No. Ridley Scott produced this movie.
That explains a couple of things.
So originally, it was supposed to be unconnected to the previous films, which it's still mostly unconnected. But we can talk about that in structure and themes, I guess. But it was supposed to be a straight to streaming on Hulu, like the last Predator movie.
Mm-hmm.
You said so far its Rotten Tomato score is...
And when I checked it, it was 92%. I don't know what it is now. But that was like midnight opening night when they first released it. 81. Okay, that's probably more.
Yeah, and it could go down more. Or it could go up more.
More of what I expect.
Yeah. 90-something sounds really high for any modern Alien movie.
And that's that. Another story in the classic, infallible 3-act structure. Good enough for Aristotle, good enough for The Simpsons.
Mr. Sislak, I have a feeling there's going to be one more act to this story.
Well, I'm not hanging around for that. 4 acts.
For structure and themes, before we actually talk about the movie itself, let's talk about where it stands within the Alien continuity. Go ahead, Daniel.
It takes place between Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
I guess the only way it obviously takes place after Alien, because the original Alien is in this movie, sort of. It's there. I was honestly kind of disappointed with that, but we'll get kind of more into that.
But there's nothing to signify that it's after Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be either.
Yeah. Obviously after Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you just shove it into a timeline where you want it to be.
Yeah, the only thing, the basic premise is that a probe from Weyland-Yutani goes to the remnants of Nostromo, gets the freeze-dried alien, and brings it back to this Romulus and Remus science station for experiments. And then, aside from that, the only, thing that even really kind of ties it at all is Rook. Which, do you want to talk about Rook now, or do you want to talk about Rook and characters?
I thought his CG face looked weird.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
It always looks weird when they're trying to replicate a dead person.
Yeah, I would have just had them not do that, but...
As long as they gave Ian Holmes' family some money, I don't care. So, I guess just tell me some of your general reactions.
The opening of the movie got my hopes up entirely too much. Because I thought it was really cool that they found the freeze-dried alien. I was like, oh, they're gonna have, the OG alien is in this movie. And, it's so badass and tough that it survived the vacuum of space. Which I love aliens to death. But one of the things it did to the aliens is, they're
too easy to kill.
They're wet balloons of acid.
Yeah.
Which I still want them to bleed acid, but I want you to have to work for it more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I bet you it's gonna come out and it's gonna be super badass and it's gonna be a big reveal. No. I don't think that's my Koontz. It was my Koontz. As soon as they showed the alien's dead body, and I was just like, oh.
Was that the alien? The one that they showed at the beginning? Or was that alien?
That's what Brooke said it was.
Oh.
He said, oh, we brought it on board, and there it is, and security finally took it out, and then the acid went everywhere.
I guess I just didn't feel like it was that explicit.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Yeah.
So I was disappointed in that because I was like, oh. Yeah, because I think that was an opportunity to make the alien, to redefine the xenomorphs.
I don't think they'll ever go back to that.
Yeah.
I think Aliens has set the precedent.
Yeah. The Alien video game walked it back and made them like almost impossible to hurt. I can't remember what it's called. It was relatively Alien Isolation. Like you can shoot them with a Magnum, and it just makes it go away. Like it scares it away from you. Like it's like fuck.
Oh.
Or you can shoot it with a flamethrower, and it's like fuck, you little shit.
Oh.
It runs away. And I was kind of hoping that they'd do something like that. They take and they took some the big twist in this movie is that there's already a shit ton of aliens on board, which is the big twist of Alien Isolation. I didn't think you'd ever get around to playing that.
No.
Yeah, that's at the end of the game, there's a million of them all over the station. And okay, there's a million of it, which I should have expected because they had a shit ton of face huggers.
Yeah.
And they talked about the alien was loose, and I was like, okay. But other than that, it was that was one of my. It built up my expectations too much. Mm-hmm. I thought a lot of the build-up was really good.
I think the first half is the better half.
And it did this thing that I don't know what you would call it. It's like that low-tech, high-tech, where it looks like it would be futuristic, like what an 80s person thought futuristic tech would look like.
Yeah.
It's a little grungier. Mm-hmm. It's still high-tech, but everything looks kind of low-tech to us, because they still got those VHS-looking computer screen. I love the aesthetic of that shit. It's one of the reasons I love the Alien movies. I thought it looked really good. And the first half of this movie, even with the alien being dead, I was still pretty much on board. And then it just kind of started going a little bit downhill after that.
I don't really I can't really tell you why, but I just kind of lost, not completely lost interest, but mostly lost interest in the second half of the movie. I can't even explain. I thought the first half was pretty interesting, and then I don't know, they just started shooting aliens, and my eyes just kind of glazed over.
I think it's because maybe it was for different reasons than me, but I felt like they were setting up to do something maybe not wholly unique, but something a little bit let's change up the pace of it, because that's what a franchise needs to keep going.
Yeah.
And then it just became an Alien movie, and their other actual big twist, like the humanoid alien. I'm like, this is the third time they've done that. It's also the third time they've done something else, which is another big problem I have with the movie.
So there's the baby alien from Alien Resurrection. What was the other one?
In Prometheus, where it's not actually a baby alien, but it's the human alien cross that she has to pull out of herself.
Yeah. But at the end of the movie, I was like, all right, well, they're going to make it to the ship, and then but it's not going to be dead. It's going to come out of the girl, and then she's going to have to find a way to eject it from the ship, just like Ripley did, because in all of these movies, they make it off the big ship onto the little ship, and it's not dead.
It just became an Alien movie. And that's fine, but that makes it just fine.
Yeah. And I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Another problem I sort of have with this movie is I feel like a fucking pretentious asshole for this. Is I feel like as these movies have gone on, the symbolism has gotten on the nose. This movie is about sexual body horror. That's why the alien is phallic shaped. It's why people are getting forcibly impregnated, and
the egg has a vagina on it,
and the face huggers have ovums.
And he shoves the thing in it.
But as soon as the woman said she was pregnant, I knew exactly what was going to happen, because it sort of happened in Prometheus.
It's the same thing that I was telling Emma about it in Prometheus. I was like, hey, you want to go see Alien Romulus? And she's like, no, in the trailer it goes in her nose. I was like, oh, well, in Prometheus she has to give herself a C-section. And I was like, why you watch that?
And in Alien Resurrection, they had the alien queen actually being pregnant, and I'm like, I feel like a pretentious asshole, but I'm like, it's too on the nose for what the horror is supposed to be.
I don't know. Maybe they just can't do it subtly anymore because people are looking for it.
I feel like it's not maybe not insulting. I'm like, do you think we're stupid? Like we don't know what the fear is supposed to be? Mm-hmm. Like the chest burster being forcibly put in you and bursting out of you in this violent, bloody fashion. That's obvious birth symbolism.
Yeah.
But now they're like, no, people are too dumb now. They have to actually see a big pregnant belly being ripped apart. I'm like, I don't even care if a pregnant chick gets killed in a movie. It's just a movie to me. Mm-hmm. But I'm like...
they killed a bunch of kids. Like, these... I don't know exactly how old they were supposed to be, but they were, like, older teenagers or real early 20s.
Yeah, so I was like, But I felt like a pretentious asshole for that being a complaint. But as soon as they mentioned it, I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I'm like, okay.
No, I did too, and I'm not good at that kind of stuff. Yep.
I almost thought they weren't going to do it, like when the brother didn't inject her with the thing immediately. I was like, oh, are they not going to do it? Are they going to surprise? And then she injected herself.
I think I completely missed that she injected herself.
Yeah, she did it when she got back on board. She was like struggling to like get to the pods, and so she took, because she had the thing, so she just injected herself.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Let's go to characters and let's talk about Kaylee Spaney, who plays Rain, who I thought her name was Ray, like the entire movie until
Ray Skywalker in Alien Romulus.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm Ray. Ray what? Ray Ripley.
Isn't Ripley her first name?
Probably. I don't know. I hear Lieutenant Ripley, so I assumed it was her last name.
I mean, I don't know. You,
but
Ripley. Ellen Rip. No, it is her last name.
Okay.
Love that scene. Makes me cry. It was a good performance, but I don't know. This one wasn't. None of the Alien movies are super character driven to me, except for the androids. And this one was the same, where like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, both those movies, David was the only character I really cared about in any of them, and this one's kind of the same, where the android in this one was really the only character I gave a crap about.
I also feel kind of stupid for this being a complaint, because I feel like this is just me showing like I'm an old man and I like things from when I was a kid sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But I feel like a lot of these movies are chasing that Sigourney Weaver high. Mm-hmm. She did sci-fi hero action lady really well for 2 movies. Mm-hmm. And I even have some parts of Alien 3 I even like, mostly because she's just in it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these people are just and this is a personal bias from how old I am, how much I like parts of the franchise. They're not Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
And some of that is, I feel like some of the things that with Sigourney Weaver, like they talked about her being a mother, but it was all in the background. It wasn't like, let's look at the camera so people know what this movie's about. It's, my daughter died while I was in cryo sleep, and then she saves a little kid, and it's a surrogate daughter sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Where in these movies, a lot of it is that we have to make sure the audience understands what we're going for here. I thought it was pretty okay with Andy. I didn't think that was too bad. I think that was mostly carried by. Who played Andy here?
David Johnson.
I think he did like when he turned over and goes, "Oh, like leaving somebody behind."
That was really good.
I thought, and I loved his dad jokes.
Yeah,
but I have a soft spot for dad jokes.
I guess one of my complaints is, I really thought that it was going to come out that the dad was the cousin. I thought that was going to be the twist, and I thought you were going to find out because the alien, the humanoid alien would look like him.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. Because it was like, you find out she's pregnant, and then it's the part where the sister and the cousin are alone on the ship, after the first girl dies, and they see the egg, and they give each other like this really like long look, like right in the eyes, and it made me think, oh, like the main girl asks her like, who's the father, and she says, it's some asshole, and it's like, that guy's a total asshole.
He is a total asshole. I also feel stupid giving like hindsight 2020 advice to Hollywood writers, because I'm obviously not one.
Mm-hmm.
But like when the baby was first born and the pod first opened up and it was just a normal looking baby, I would have just ended the movie right there. I think that would have been at least in terms of alien movies, a way more interesting twist. Like, it's just sort of human looking.
Mm-hmm.
But instead we got the big scary monster again.
Slender Man.
And we have to. And how many? I guess 4 times that I can think of off the top of my head where they shoot the monster out into space and via airlock.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, how else do you kill it? But I don't know. I'm not...
Again, I'm not a paid Hollywood writer. But I'm just like... Because I feel like... I don't know if they were trying to set up a sequel, and I guess I would have been annoyed if they would have sequel baited me. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that would have been way more interesting. Sequel bait would have been like, well, what are they going to do with that human-alien hybrid?
Sort of sequel bait.
Yeah. Because it's like, because then you could set something up like Weyland-Yutani is going to chase this human alien, and they set it up like it's going to be this horrific, well, it's just a kid.
I would have...
I guess that's how I would have written it, but...
Hiya! Happy Easter!
I'm also not a...
I would have just had the
paid writer.
alien win. Just kill all the kids and...
That also would have just been more... At least it would have been different.
And they could have even... If they wanted to do a sequel bait and still have it that way, just have it like spinning down towards the mining colony, like on the little ship, and it's killed all the kids, and the humanoid alien is spinning, and it's like, oh, it's gonna crash, and all those people are fucked.
I guess that's what one of my biggest disappointments is that there is a lot of setup in this movie to do something even just slightly different, and instead I just got an alien movie. And if all you want is an alien movie, this is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, it just goes to show that we are all impossible to please, because I'm pretty sure, like, all the stuff we said prior to this movie coming out was like, oh, this is a return to form, it's going to be like the original Alien, that's so awesome. And it's like, oh, it wasn't different enough.
Well, it either needed to be way more like the first Alien movie, or I feel like there's a good balance between first Alien movie and Prometheus, and we keep trying to meet somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this movie made me appreciate Prometheus a little bit more.
Yeah,
because at least Prometheus was trying to do a bunch of different shit.
Yeah. Just generally, like, the cast was good. I'm sorry we're not talking about every specific person, but they were good performances all around.
They were good performances. It's just there's not a lot of meat to most of these characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's typical of Alien movies. So there's nothing.
They're slashers in space.
Yeah. I liked Andy. I thought Andy was interesting. I liked the reprogramming of him and the different directives and his jokes and
you could even kind of tell that he was hurt but incapable of being hurt when they're like, oh, we're just going to decommission. That dude was like such an like, why are you causing strife with the fucking robot?
Yeah, I would have taken that guy out. I would have taken that guy out so hard.
I'm like, brother, come on.
I wish he would have suffered a little bit more when he died. I mean, he got to see like his fingers melting, but he died relatively quickly.
Yeah, because it just like melted right through his chest.
Yeah.
I was expecting that sequence to go on like way longer. I would have liked that if it would have been like him like just slowly melting away, and then
maybe he gets impregnated and he's the one who gets dragged around, like, because the guy's sister, Kay, she got the worst of it. She just wouldn't die throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She got impaled by an alien. Her baby turned into a monster and then ate her like a leech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is probably just me being a weirdo, but because they kept showing like, and again, I guess this is like the difference between being literal and symbolism. they kept showing like pictures of babies breastfeeding through the movie. I thought that thing was gonna suck on her titties when it first came out.
I thought it was going to too, because when it's like creeping up on her, she was like going to grab her breast. It looked like.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, and it's still kind of fed on her. It's still that kind of like, baby has to rely on mom symbolism.
Except his umbilical cord comes out of his mouth and inserts into his mom.
Yeah.
I'll kill you all! I'll drive you crazy, and I'll kill you all! I'm every nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
Scary shit. Was this movie scary?
It didn't scare me. There were a couple points that got me. I got caught off guard by a couple of the jump scares.
Just the one at the end in space jumped me a little bit. I thought the first shot of the Slender Man alien was kind of haunting, where it's just crouched in like the Jeffries tube, and there's shadows over it, and you can't see it clearly. I thought that was kind of chilling, but after that, no, not really.
I'm also just really desensitized.
Yeah,
so
it's just not. I don't find them to be generally scary. These movies to be scary at all, really. But effects were pretty decent, but you know, they spent a ton of money on this movie, so
yeah, $80 million is a pretty decent budget.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty terrible if it didn't look good. Ian Holmes robot aside, because that's just not technology that we've perfected yet. So maybe in 20 years they can make George Washington in a movie and he'll look exactly as he did, but probably not.
Oh my God, are you Stephen King? No, I'm Dean Koontz. Oh.
Let's go to Kings and Koontz. My king is Andy.
My king is also Andy.
My Koontz is that they give this really awesome naming convention for androids and they can't fucking stick to it at all. Fuck these people.
My Koontz is my own expectations, because they were continuously shifting through the movie where I thought it was gonna surprise me, and then it was just exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. It was just a little disappointing in that regard.
Yeah.
But that's my fault, not the movie's fault.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to rankings. I know where I'm placing it among my aliens. Like I liked it more than 3 or Resurrection or the 2 AVP movies, but I wouldn't put it above Prometheus, Covenant, or the original 2, obviously.
Yeah.
So let me find where I have Covenant. Okay, so Alien Covenant is my number 50. It's not better than Firestarter 2.
But what is?
Yeah. It's not better than Battle Royale 2.
Merry Christmas. That's what they needed. They needed that guy.
Yeah. Alright, it's my new number 68. Below Cockerimbo and above Spanish Dracula.
Where do I have Prometheus on this? 96.
You're 96.
Oh, okay. Wow, I feel like I'm being super harsh now.
You're pretty harsh on Prometheus, but that's okay.
I guess I'm going to put it right below Prometheus.
So it's your new number 97, below Prometheus and above The Exorcist 2.
I thought for sure I'd rank it higher than you.
No, this is what I expected. Like, I don't have the same criticisms you do. I don't care if the symbolism is too obvious. I didn't have shifting expectation. I mean, I'm sorry. My expectations shifted once.
Yeah.
I thought the first half was pretty good. And then
I think that's one of my biggest problems, is I was so in on the first half.
Mm-hmm. But to me, it wasn't as bad as like the new Exorcist movie, where it was like, oh, this is so good, and then but it was like the first half of the movie is pretty good. Coming on the Horror of Babylon, this Sunday is our Night of the Living Dummy 2 watch along. And then the next Sunday, September 1st, we're reading The Haunted Mask 2. And then on our next 2 bonus episodes, on August 29th, we are watching the horror musical Paddock. And then the following episode on September 5th, It looks like I deleted what Universal Monster movie we're watching, but I don't remember. The Invisible Man, maybe? I don't know. It's whatever the next big one is after The Mummy.
I believe it's The Invisible Man.
Yeah, that's what we're watching. And you know who's not invisible?
Our patrons.
Thank you to Abigail the First, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and
Logan,
the Full Metal Patron, and Ben, the Fourth Patron of Hope, and Mia the Fifth, the Rainmaker.
She makes it Wayne, yo.
Wayne Lady. And thank you to Sierra the Sixth, the Keyblade Patron, Wachiki. And thank you to Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming, which you can visit at the Morgantown Mall in Morgantown, West Virginia. And you can shop online at fourhorsemencomicstcgplayerpro.com. And if you make it in the store, just leave the store, walk down to the food court, go out across the food court and into the theater, figure out whatever theater they're showing Alien Romulus in, and the guy in the back with a garbage bag full of popcorn, that'll be Ronald III, Grampus of Christmas. And then you could watch Alien Romulus with him, I guess.
I hope he enjoys it. He deserves good things.
I don't think he likes any of them except for the first two, so...
He just watches them.
Yeah. I mean, this is the same guy who watches Blade 2 at Christmas every year, so...
Doesn't he actually like Blade 2, though?
I don't know. Maybe. Alright, well, thank you for going to see Alien Romulus and recording with me tonight.
It was a good time, because I was with you.
Yeah, it was fine. I ate popcorn.
I got to be bad to my body.
Yeah, I don't normally get popcorn, but I need to stay awake, so it was fun.
I'm gonna have to go drink more coffee so I can do the gym.
And I'm going to bed.
You deserve good naps.
Thank you to our patrons. Stay tuned for our socials and stay scary.
Stay scary, everybody.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher, and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the horrorofbabylonpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/thehorrorofbabylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and all other major podcast apps. Stay scary.